Alright, so next up is Rahito. It's a pain in the butt. Generally, this is one that's just a huge thing of attrition and not much else. So due to the layout of stuff here, I'm gonna go for the 003 here. A, I would like a radar, and B, it would be good to have a little bit of a better setup here. I'm gonna go for ammo extensions here. As good as the back parts are, in this case it'll just be more practical. Alright, so yeah, this one gives... Oh, that is actually not necessarily a great trade as far as shell goes. So it drops about 80 for shell and gives another, well, give or take, like 24-ish. I'm fucking accounting right now. But, as far as energy goes, but it does help with the radar. And most of everything that's going to be doing any damage in this next bit is going to be coming from energy. Because I'm hoping to be able to take out Nocturne before he actually does any damage whatsoever. Alright, that'll do. This one's just pretty much clearing rooms up until you need to do a bit of a laser platforming thing. And, well, then from there you've got a bunch of little ambushes, and then you've got to put stuff into a computer. Now, I don't necessarily need to take these guys out, but it would be good. So on the way back, I'm going to be doing a lot of slow clearing here. Because on the way back you end up having to fight a lot of them, and frankly after the Nocturne fight, there's a good chance of being low on health. I'm not really too fussy which things they blow up, as long as they blow things up. Especially those guys right there, they're the ones where the damage really comes from. Not so much immediate, but definitely comes over time. Just shoot this last one. Unlike last time, I don't think they spawn that many new enemies in here, not unless you wipe out everything. So these are pretty good as far as getting through these laser traps. I was expecting it to be a bit of a problem, but on the test run it went just fine. I was actually able to avoid most of them. If you stand about 2 panels back here. How did I get the timing on these? There, almost. I want to say with the other back parts, maybe it messes with the hitbox or something. That feels like exactly what I did before and it worked out just fine. Ended up just landing in the laser at the very end. And that run ended up going pretty well fine. It needed me. I'll gladly scrap whatever I'm doing if she starts crying. And she's off on another little nap here. It's kind of funny, all the weird jokes and stereotypes about babies and whatnot. All that ends up completely falling apart once you actually have one. It's weird, the whole crying thing, like, before you have a kid, it kind of gives you a bit of a weird ringing in your ear, and it's like, how can people stand this and all that? That kind of goes away. Like, once you have one, I just assume the body adjusts or something. Like, now they start crying, and it's like not even that you get used to it, it's just not there anymore. But anyway, that's neither here nor there, just a random note. Alright. So, this is what the extra ammo is for. Those little ambushes, if they get a bunch of blades off, you're pretty well screwed. So there's gonna be a couple more of those to fight. Alright. I don't want to waste any more bazookas. I basically have 2 spare shots. Mostly I don't expect Nocturne to cooperate. I'm probably gonna have to shoot him on the go. Oh, come on, recharge. I can have some coffee. There we go. And I could have skipped him, but this one, really the damage can go up and down so much that I like to be safe on it. And one more EO probably would have finished him there, but I didn't really want to risk it. This mission right here, when I was doing, I understand somebody actually already went and posted up one of these, but was doing like a starter AC run. Oh my god, it took me so many friggin' tries to get through this. I was literally there for like a month, like on and off. Like, maybe I'll succeed this time, maybe I'll succeed this time. Just, nope. Because every time I would end up getting like weird patterns with Nocturne, like run out of ammo or something. And he's just not one of the ones that you can really get away with just like running straight up to him in a lot of cases. Uh-oh. That is about the worst that could have happened. Actually, you know what? Might not be so bad. So he's going to be locked on already, so he's going to be... Alright. 2 of each is enough to kill him. We'll see if Nocturne cooperates. What I'm thinking, like, he starts right there. So, what I'm thinking is probably just try to get a shot off immediately. Hopefully it stuns him, and then, you know, maybe I can get him to start running forward. He gets himself stuck on these little cylinders a lot, so I'm hoping to hit him then. I'm just gonna use the accurate shots. He rarely, if ever, uses his blade, but he will use it if he runs out of ammo. And they probably just decided on that because it would have been ridiculous otherwise. Like, if he had his normal AI pattern in that room, you would just be screwed most of the time. You end up having to redo this entire friggin' thing, and then hope you got, you know, you didn't get slashed in the face right away. That. I was mostly using it as a bookmark. because you can kind of tell where the bazooka arms are, like if you look right in between the core and the ammo extensions. But I prefer to have the extra inside part as just a little bookmark there.
We're both ravens. Just do what comes next.
Oh, I can poop? No, okay, that didn't work. So you just need to get yourself stuck on something. See, this is the problem right here. He goes back and forth really fast a lot. And really can only reasonably hit him when he's standing still. Well, this is going alright. Yeah, there we go. No problem. Went better than expected. You've got a lightweight, though. That's just not gonna happen in this one. Got a little bit of spare ammo for you guys. I guess these ones are the ones that respawn. Yeah, so it closes up the blast doors and then it respawns some of the enemies, but not all of them. Otherwise, that would have been a pain. But that's pretty much why they had the Infiltrate Rihito mission. Alright, so everyone's gone now. But yeah, they basically give you the Infiltrate one just to let you explore the facility beforehand. It gets a lot easier. You kind of get a general sense that as soon as you trigger the computers, you know, you'll probably be dealing with a few more enemies. Now, they don't give you the bottom floor of the facility at that point, but still, you get a good general idea. And really, unless I need pod missiles for something, I think I might just keep this build as it is. And didn't take a loss for once, that's something. I forget whose will this is. Oh yeah. Alrighty. So, yeah. This guy, considered to be the hardest fight in the arena. Like, Exile, he's difficult. But if you can get some good damage on him, like, you can run that guy out of ammo pretty easily, you can basically cheese him out and get damage on him. He's still lightweight at the end of the day. This guy, friggin' ridiculously aggressive, cheating heavyweight. Alright, now... Alright, I'm gonna try to wall cheese him. I'm thinking... Gonna pop out decoys for now. So that's most of his damage. Like, overheating with that is pretty much his bread and butter. Holy crap, that took a lot out of him. Alright, never mind, this is gonna be simple. Yeah, so he's just gonna hop up and down here. Excuse me while I lumber for half an hour. Okay, that went a lot better than I thought. Even got overheated, but still. Alright. Same with this guy. Probably gonna end up fighting Ace in the parking garage, so he's not flying around all over the place. this is when back boosters would be nice. Alright, let me try using that corner. There's no way I'm gonna get that initial shot off on him, because he usually just goes and, yeah, does this big aerial flip here. Alright, that worked reasonably well. I'm kind of scared of his blade here. Nice. Yeah, that corner seems to be working wonders. Those EOs will handle any damage up top, and can then basically just spray and pray everything else. This thing is just so satisfying. Like, blow up everything. So, should have, yep. An energy reactor. And then it's gonna be the big guy, and then it's gonna be the last mission. I won't really have time to hide in the sides here. I'm thinking is just to charge forward as much as I can. Like such.
Mission update. Enemy forces have already reached the reactor's core.
There we go. Pretty much as long as you hit that little blue dot in the center. Guy does a crap ton of damage, but he's lightweight. Just. Like, it's pretty gross how much damage that guy does, and I'm not even sure why. So there's a massive MT. Not gonna even bother to go get the fleets this time around, because frankly that'll take an hour and a half. Obvious choice here. A lot of times he just gets confused and bumbles around, but at least he doesn't die within 3 seconds like everybody else. My bad. That's why I don't like weapon arms. I wish they would show up as two different things. Should do it. More. Simple enough. And last mission. So this is gonna be the one time that I'll allow boosting. I mean, there's really no other way to do it.
Combat system.
I don't even know why I'm using this AC. I really should be using the other one. Oh well. We'll slowly get up there eventually. Of course, this will end up taking forever if we end up missing one of them. Oh well. These little lasers don't really do much. Kind of a bizarre security system if you think about it. I mean, I can't really think of a possible practical reason to have it all set up that way. I kind of assume they do a lot of the stuff in this whole series with such gigantic doors and whatnot, because they kind of have to expect to use ACs for stuff, like the amount of times AIs go in the frits and whatnot. You just have to make everything giant robot sized. Not really mitigating much damage by shooting those things, frankly. And these pods can't even aim at them. And honestly, I don't even have to worry about damage and ammunition because you get replenished at this part.
Incoming transmission. It's from Crest.
There we go. So we should be able to do this trick.
We're not sure what it is you hope to accomplish.
Well, I hope to beat this run, mostly. Oh, now we awkwardly hang off by our tippy toes. And wait for this elevator to go all the way down and not trigger any enemies on the way.
Doesn't matter anymore. So, let's find out what kind of creature will be born. Your decision.
Oh, pretty good one. And generally speaking, everyone's gonna be all happy. They'll get to go see nature again. They'll probably get out of all of these really stiff environments. Then get blown up by a friggin' laser from space. But, you know, up until then, stuff's pretty alright. You get some, cool-looking locations in the second one. And things still going down. is actually staying. It's still going. Alright, that looks like it's done finally. Yeah, at the very end, it gets a little weird visually. It's still got a few little pixels that show up. And yeah, now the enemies start spawning in up there. They're way too far away, and frankly, they're not coming in any extra waves. They're supposed to open up the doors and just attack you on the way down. Freaking love this theme. And if you're looking for it, it's Administrator. You should be just about wrecked. We're still gonna need 6 bazooka rounds to finish off the game. And so he's done. I think I should be really well off with ammo here. And it's been said before, this is such a nice way to end it. I know that you've already had your like giant MTs and whatnot. It's just a 2v1 fight. There we go. I'll try to get an angle on this thing without boosting, but if there's absolutely no way, then I'll just fly up there. Now I just need to blow a hole in the controller and shoot a hole up its computer butt. It's a stick.
It's the controller's core. That shield
I want to say there?
of the pillar. There's a heat source. It's an energy reactor. Destroy it and you should neutralize the controller.
Let's see if I can get an angle on it, though. Didn't do it. That is super awkward. Alright. Okay, so that's... I'm gonna go up to these then. Because I hit the spot that it seems like it should be triggering the end cutscene. I think you have to hit it dead on. Also, I've never seen it have that red spot there. I guess I never really go around to the back of it. And that's that. Guy opens up and everything's all nice. Except I don't want it to crash on a cutscene. Never seen it do that in this game, but I don't feel like risking it. $56, not 46, by the way, on the percentage. I think I was mentioning that earlier. I always get those confused. Go for Gina here. I'm just gonna clear out the main arena, then do the extra, and that'll be that. God, that's satisfying. It's actually funny. I think they improved the AI from the original too. Because I remember in the original you can pull that with a lot of you could do the whole rocket cheese thing with a lot of different characters. Seems like a lot more of them go off to the sides now. Haven't played the original version in quite a while because, well, frankly, I just think this one's better. Like, graphically, the original is better. Like, you have windows shattering and other little details like that. But I just like how much faster this one loads, for one thing. And for another, you know, I appreciate what they did with the sounds. Like, especially the critical sounds, that whole whirp, 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 whirp thing got really annoying really fast. And this one, instead, is just like a beep, beep, beep kind of thing, you know? Alright, I guess I should aim at you or something. Dead. Yeah, he's another fun one to do. Well, actually, I should say interesting, not necessarily fun. Because you end up restarting a lot due to running out of rounds. He's just got the 10 large missiles and the or rockets, and the bazooka arms, which, as already shown, have basically nothing to them. Otherwise, they'd be crazy overpowered, which they already kind of are. Alright, so that's what you get for being a traitor. I don't really know why she even betrays you either, because, like, okay, thinking about it from a logical perspective, okay, they were hired to go there, and, like, even if they were hired to do the whole ambush thing, most times, she's already damaged, you have an empty on your side, and the other guy, for all intents and purposes, can't really use most of his weapons in that setting because he uses a lot of missiles, and there are a lot of things to get in the way of them. So all things considered, she would be better off siding with the player in that case. Because frankly, they would just be far more likely to win. Not to mention, in most cases, you might have already reduced them down to nothing or blown them up before the fight even starts, so I guess... Alright, so this is the other tank guy that I was kind of scared about. He's just a flat-out upgrade to the other one. Instead of the crappy machine gun, he's got the good one. But now that we've actually got a proper build going on and crazy amounts of damage, it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, this should be easy. At this rate, I might as well just switch to the shields, because I haven't actually used my extensions in a while. And really, the overweight run was pretty much this, plus slight amounts of boosting. Weapon arm and using decoys at the same time. Delay! Yeah, so I mentioned it before, but yeah, it has to do this animation for switching between the arms. I'm used to, like, tap, tap, done, Instead it's like tap, wait, tap, done for that. I'd probably use weapon arms a lot more if it wasn't for that. Screws me up every time. Yeah, these are the arena guys that are interesting, but you always end up forgetting about because of how quickly you burn through them all. Ow. Nope. What I really wish they would have done, and I guess this semi was done with not Last Raven, but Ninebreaker. I wish they would have had something else like Project Phantasma. Except, you know, unlike Ninebreaker, actually done well. Because, okay, it was cool that they had, like, a randomized enemy thing. That was nice and all. But most of the time they sucked really bad and they didn't really do anything different. I just like going through all the arena fights in Phantasma. And honestly, the arena fights are probably some of my favorite stuff in these games. Like, if I had Ninebreaker and grown up, I would have loved it. Alright, so he's gonna go for his parry, and that's fine. You know what hurts a lot more than a parry? Like 4 rockets straight to your face. Tried to do a run with his build, by the way. Here's the thing, though. None of his stuff really lends itself well to the light frame. So, their whole tag team thing here kind of makes a lot of sense. As, frankly, I just ended up dropping that one pretty early on because it wasn't any fun. Also just consisted of trying to dodge things unsuccessfully over and over. This guy's off for the fight. Might as well do this. So his whole deal is he ends up dropping down but then boosting right back up the moment he lands. So, like, expecting him to get a drop shot on him, but it messes with the way that your lock goes, so you end up missing. I was trying to show earlier. Oh. Alright, if they recharge, I have a chance. Shouldn't have spammed as many shots. But yeah, so this guy is a good example of how you should do dodging as a tank. Unless you're manually aiming in some way, you're just gonna miss every time. We got 11 bursts left. And he's dead. Really don't like him. Thankfully, it's the flimsy one that you need to fight in the extra arena. Keep on call it the bonus arena. Here's the blade spammer. This one's not really much of a difficult puzzle. Come on, buddy. Get close. Good job. Three more throwaways, and then the big one, and then the extra one that's pretty much another throwaway. Apparently he's there in case you read the comic. Which I never did or plan to. I mean, I'm sure there was some interesting stuff in there, just it doesn't have an arena, so I wasn't particularly interested. I really disagree with this description. Okay, there's stun from the handgun, and the howitzer is a pretty good combo with it, true. But putting two friggin' heavy as crap missiles onto a lightweight never works out for him. Goodbye. I mean, it's a cool build, I'll give him that. Like, it looks cool, and you don't get to see the whole dual handgun thing happening very often in this one. And technically speaking, circling around with handguns and whatnot should be really good. Alright, now, this guy is normally a huge problem. However, should be handled like everything else this time. Because basically, if you have some good defense as far as energy goes, there isn't any heat. Well, there isn't as much heat buildup from the Sawa. I mean, it's only doing a little bit, so unless... Yeah, you're right there. Heat isn't as bad as some iterations of this build. Like, the one in Silent Line is horrifying as Silver Fox, because he does the same thing, but he's actually a ridiculously heavy one, and has a shield, and basically bomb rushes you with the most powerful gun in the game, and... like, okay, you can't stagger him out of the way, you can't really DPS him out of the way. And he's weirdly fast for a big guy. So I'm gonna try the arena. Yeah, and certainly he's not as bad as Toothpick, with blowing your friggin' limbs off. But he can be reasonably threatening. Goodbye. Yeah, if you've got good energy defense, he's got a lot of damage you can put out from the blade. But for some reason, against the wall there, I don't know if he loses momentum or what, but he seems to have a hard time hitting. At least hitting for his full damage. So can tank a few hits. So this is a fight unique to the portable version. This is basically what he does. He's got a lot of blade damage. But not a whole lot of shell defense. Unfortunately, he is pretty good about dodging. That didn't work, so I'm probably just gonna go abuse the nook or the corner. Kind of a random note here, but good god, it is hot as crap outside. Yeah, so he's good at avoiding your lockbox, by the way. Should be able to tell that pretty obviously. But what I was hoping to do was look up there and then look down and just kind of hit him in the head on the way down. But he was faster. Pretty much any time that you're able to move at all, he's not much of a threat. Get himself stuck up there. Oh, okay, he's already dead. Unfortunately, he is a little bit psychic, as you can tell. Like, okay, he knows I'm staring over there, so now he's already circling around the other way. He's just magnetically opposed to my lockbox. So there we go. Muffin Gear's beating the arena. Now for the extra. Try to do somebody different for each one of these. And again, I'm sticking to the arena mostly just because of distance. I really don't want to be walking half an hour to get to the other side of the map. Now in 3, they'll always end up, the leader will always end up starting on the right, and that's the only one you have to beat. They randomized that in SL, probably because of how abusable this is. There'll be a couple fights at the top, though, that'll end up switching to the abandoned factory. And I'll try not to abuse using Kaiser as a sidekick up until the very end. Wow, that was easy. Okay. Alright. See who's got more DPS, buddy. Got a shield and a friggin' dinky handgun. Got multiple rocket launchers. Let's see. Yeah, that works out. I really don't know. I'm assuming for this one it's supposed to be he's wasteful, she's the hippie. It's kind of the tie between these two. Either way, not a problem. And this thing with spamming the rockets is pretty much reminding me of my favorite part of For Answer. Like, there was this one mission in particular where they had a whole bunch of just like mini bosses from the rest of the game, just all in a line. And you could take a, pretty much just load up your back with a bunch of spread rockets. Just mash fire on those things. Fantastic. Just put out this massive storm of rockets. I want to play For Answer again now. See if I can finish off this run before Little One gets up. Welcome to Fun Time. Things are great. You know, now that I think about it, just being able to see where all your projectiles are going, I think that's kind of the main thing that made For Answer more satisfying than Verdict Day. I don't know, a lot of the shots it just felt weird not being able to see where they're going. Like all the rest of the series, like, hey, here's this comically huge rocket, you know? Or like okay, in these early ones it was always a huge rocket, but then in FA it was, you could see all of the like tracing lines for them. I don't know what the official term is, but see where all of them were flying. That was especially awesome for there was that one video that somebody put out. It was like some crazy pop music to like tornadoes of missiles and whatnot. Amazing. I should make a spread bazooka build for LR. Alright, that's my guy, isn't it? Nice moves. Honestly, I think AC3 and Dark Souls have a lot in common balance-wise. It's like really all the weapons can do stuff, but if you have something heavy-hitting, then there's really no excuse to be losing. And I just remember my first time through DS. Like, well, can't figure out anything else, and end up getting the Black Knight Halberd. And then at that point, I just sat there and just like ground for, I don't know, 3-4 hours to get all the stats for it. Like, okay, you know, I have this thing. It is a really good thing. No excuse to lose at anything anymore. Alright, can I get my decoys now? Thank you. Alright, so this is the first one of the dual fights that's legitimately challenging, just because they both have good machine guns, and usually the Spartan over there will end up killing off your partner before you get a chance to kill off this guy. And obviously I did not do stuff quite right here. So this guy, this first guy has a tendency to move around a lot. Spartan has a tendency to shoot a lot. Well, I mean, they both pretty much shoot endlessly, but the red guy is a little bit better at dodging. Not sure why I'm getting audio lag. Alright, time for me to go.